Week 10 of the fantasy baseball season. Here's a few hitters I look to buy and trade for this week. The first hitter, Jackson Merrill of the San Diego Padres. It's been a bad year for Jackson Merrill and Fernando Tatis, but Merrill hitting under 200 on the season. 4 home runs, 19 RBIs, 24 runs scored, 10 stolen bases, a 198 average, and a 272 on base percentage. So the last couple weeks, he can't get anything going. No homers and RBI, 2 stolen bases, 2 runs scored, a 079 average, and a 146 on base. I know last season he took a little bit of a step back, was Merrill, in his second year. In his rookie year in 2024, he had a great season, but this year, he's below the Mendoza line. He can't get anything going, which is puzzling with this Padre team still playing good baseball in the first 2 months of the season. But Merrill right now, well, his value's way down there. Get him in a trade pretty easily and not give up much. A back-end pitcher right now might even get the deal done. May 20th versus the Dodgers, 0-1. May 23rd versus the A's, 1-3, a run. May 24th versus the A's, 0-3. And May 25th versus the Phillies, 0-4. So like I said, he's struggling mightily. He can't get anything going, hitting under 200. The only thing he's giving fantasy owners right now is base stealing Jackson Merrill, but nothing else. But we know he's got the 5-2 type of player capability, and right now he's in a crazy slump to begin the first 2 months of the season. But like I said, it just takes a little bit for a guy with his talent to get back on track, and I think that could be the case with Merrill. So he's a hitter I would buy this week. Next hitter, Will Smith of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Will Smith, it's been a down year for him so far, and I think many of these Dodger hitters haven't hit well so far this year, but still obviously one of the best teams in the league record-wise in the first couple months on the year. 4 home runs, 20 RBIs, 18 runs scored, 242 average, and a 318 on base. But the last couple weeks, his numbers are way down. A homer, 4 RBIs, 6 runs scored, a 147 average, and a 262 on base percentage. He's batting 5th, 6th in this lineup usually is Will Smith. And we know he gets about 2 days off a week, where Dalton Rushing got off to a monster start to begin the season. He catches a couple days a week for this Dodger team. May 19th at the Padres, 0-4. May 20th at the Padres, 1-4. May 23rd at the Brewers, 1-4 run and RBI. And May 25th in yesterday's game, 0-3 with a run. So Will Smith, we know he's an elite talent. He signed a 10-year extension with this Los Angeles Dodger team, and I know he's going to get his days off here and there where they're trying to keep him fresh for the playoffs. And obviously Dalton Rushing, they could give some at-bats to, where he's one of their top prospects and playing well to begin the season. But definitely, he's a guy when years end, his numbers are usually there, and we know catch is a weak position. So right now, while his numbers are down, good hitter to get on a discount this week. Next hitter, Jo Adell of the Los Angeles Angels. Jo Adell, last season, a monster breakout season, 37 homers, 98 batted in with a 236 average. But so far this season, the power hasn't been there, but he's bumped his batting average up a little bit on the year. 7 homers, 28 RBIs, 18 runs scored, 2 stolen bases, a 246 average, and a 295 on base. But the last 2 weeks, he's another guy hitting way under 200. A homer, 4 RBIs, 2 runs scored, a 119 average, a 208 on base. It's not about the batting average for me with Jo Adell. It's about that the power numbers are down, and pretty much this Angel team is a similar team to last season. Pitchers have made adjustments where, like I said, last year, 38 home runs a monster year was for Jo Adell, and this season only 7 so far in the first 2 months of the year. But he's another hitter. When he gets on a hot streak, he could hit them in bunches. May 21st versus the A's, 1-4. May 22nd versus the Rangers, 0-5. May 23rd versus the Rangers, 1-3 a run. And May 24th versus Texas, 0-3 in that ball game. So like I said, Jo Adell, it just takes a few games to get him back on track. And if you're looking for cheap power hitter this week, I think you could buy low is Jo Adell, where, like I said, if he's not hitting for power, he's not bringing much for fantasy owners. But like I said, with the weather warming up even more, and it just takes a little bit for him to get going and hit him in bunches. Definitely a hitter to buy this week is Adell. Next hitter, Ronald Acuna Jr. of the Atlanta Braves. So Ronald Acuna, he was a first-round pick this season, and so far he's been a major bust in fantasy and even had a stint on the IL for a few weeks. On the year, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs, 7 stolen bases, 22 runs scored, a 242 average, and a 358 on base. In the last week since he returned, no homers, 2 RBIs, 5 runs scored, a 182 average, and a 333 on base percentage. So Acuna, we know he's had the leg issues over the years, torn ACLs a couple times. His knees aren't great, but last season when he came back, he had a nice year in about a half a year. 21 homers, 42 RBIs, 9 stolen bases, a 290 average, and a 417 on base. I don't expect the stolen bases to ever reach where they were, obviously. I still think 20 stolen bases is a possibility for Acuna in a full season, but the main thing with this Brave team, they want to keep him healthy, and that one bases are definitely going to go down for Ronald Acuna. But like I said, 15 to 20 I don't think is far-fetched if he's healthy this season. But the power numbers are way down, batting average is way down, and he struck out 5 times now in the last 2 games as well, so he's not seeing the ball well and maybe pressing a little bit too hard and not 100%, still coming off the injured list with the hamstring. May 21st at the Marlins, 2 for 3, a run, 2 RBIs. May 22nd versus the Nats, 0 for 4. May 23rd versus the Nats, 0 for 4. May 24th versus the Nats, 0 for 3. So Acuna's been hitless in his last 3 games. They open up a 3-game set at the Boston Red Sox and then go to the Reds. So 2 good hitters ballparks, and it just takes Acuna as well a little bit to get back on track. He's one of the more talented players, obviously, in all Major League Baseball. So right now he's off to a slow start to begin the season. Like I said, he already had his 1 IL stint already with the hamstring injury, and hopefully he's healthy, puts it behind him, and gets things going. And right now, like I said, well, he was a first-round pick, and he's been a big bust the first 2 months of the season. Definitely a hitter to buy low this week. And the final hitter, George Springer of the Toronto Blue Jays. So we know Springer, he's up there in age, but last season a monster year was for him. 32 homers, 84 batted in, 18 stolen bases, a 309 average, 399 on base, and 106 runs scored, where he helped lead this team to the World Series. But so far this year, he was injured as well early in the season, pretty much for the whole month of April. Was Springer, 5 home runs, 13 RBIs, 13 runs scored, 2 stolen bases, a 199 average, and a 278 on base. In the last couple weeks, the power's gone up a little bit, 3 homers, 6 RBIs, a stolen base, 8 runs scored, a 200 average, 273 on base. But the stolen bases, I think this year, are going to drop a little bit. I don't know if he's going to hit over 300, George Springer, after coming off a monster year last year. And even the power numbers at 32 might not be there when it's all said and done this season, especially missing the first month of the season. But if you need power and a guy who's going to try to get this offense going, batting leadoff once again this year for this Toronto Blue Jay team, I think Springer could turn things around, and it's still early for him. Like I said, he missed all of April, so he's still getting his legs under him, I believe. And like I said, he's an older player. It might take a little bit more time for him to get going. May 22nd versus the Pirates, 1 for 3, a run, 2 RBIs. May 23rd versus the Pirates, 2 for 4, a homer and RBI. May 24th versus the Pirates, 0 for 4. And May 25th versus the Marlins, 0 for 5. So like I said, Springer, he's going to have power. He still could steal probably anywhere to 12 bases, I think, this season. And he's going to drive in runs even in the leadoff spot, even though this Toronto team isn't obviously as good as they were last season. So far, it's been a mixed bag of results for them. But like I said, Springer, last season, he had an MVP caliber season. Like I said, the way he was hitting the baseball helped lead this team to the World Series. And I think right now, missing just about all of April, it's like a spring training a little bit for him to get his legs back under him and get things going in May. And I think Springer will. So that's a few hitters I look to buy and trade for week 10 of the fantasy baseball season.